fucking timer! But we got a hot cocoa, everybody! Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Well, you know what? We got to share a microphone because I'm a cheap bastard. I only have one wire. So therefore, we're sharing the microphone today. But welcome in, everybody, to Stoppage Time. As you can see, no John Bucket's Eimer today. He will be back in later on for his best picks for this weekend. He's taking some much-needed and well-deserved time off away, spending time with family. Once again, the guy takes more vacations than fucking anybody else I know. But at the same time, I thought we would find a bit of time for Hot Coco to join us because there's a lot to discuss, including Major League Soccer. But first and foremost, we're checking in. How the fuck are you?
I'm doing well. Happy to be off the bench. It just took Buckets to be gone to pull me from the bench, and here I am. Happy to be here.
All right, so we got Hot Coco here, so we might as well get into it because, as we already mentioned before, Major League Soccer is very active. She's obviously the best MLS picker in the planet, but at the same time, we got to discuss the socials, is what's happening. We have seen a rise in our social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, obviously Twitter, and on TikTok, it's plus 10,000% we've increased. On Instagram, we're almost at 500 followers on Instagram. Go follow. The reels are getting very active. People are actually seeing the clips on the show. Producer Jeff's doing great work, obviously, on the shorts on YouTube. YouTube's getting massive. We're almost at 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. But maybe just explain to the loyal listeners out there, Hot Coco, I got to stop calling you that. You're my wife. Nicole, what it's been like for you, obviously, joining the team and the work that you've been doing. Maybe explain to everybody what you've been doing.
Well, first of all, the moment you stop calling me Hot Coco, I need to be worried. So keep calling me that. Second of all, it's been fun being a part of the team, having something to do to help grow. The consistency of just being a part of the social medias, it's been fun. I like it. And if there's anything you want to see more of, if the loyal listeners want to see more of, I'm happy to hear it.
Yeah, be careful what you wish for with our fucking loyal listeners out there. Hey, you. I'm talking to you, dirty bastards. Listen, no, we're obviously very appreciative of the great work that you do on social media, and having us being able to do a project together is pretty cool as well. Is that weird though? Like, husband, wife, obviously, I'm paying you money for more than just other things now. You get money now to actually work on the show. Is that kind of weird for you?
No, anytime you give me money, I would say that's not weird.
We'll leave it at that. Let's get into it because Dub Club was a bit of a hit in the Champions League, Hot Coco, because look at this bad boy. Plus 1,037 from the Dub Club. It is a subscriber service. Please subscribe if you want to myself or John Bucket Time. We're available out there. This one hit after a poor run of results for myself. I had Aston Villa, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich to win by 2 goals. Liverpool on the money line, Victor Gyökeres to score any time. Of course, from our show Stoppage Time. And that hit at plus 1,037. The Champions League's been fucking legit. Now let me get back to where I was getting ahead. Major League Soccer is back this weekend. We have NYCFC against Inter Miami. A quick look at the updated standings right now doesn't bode well for NYCFC. 6th place on 40 points. Inter Miami top of the table on 63 points right now. 67 goals scored, and NYCFC only the 42 goals scored. We will be there with the kids in attendance. We have our season tickets, and right now, the tickets are going for as high as $4,000 a ticket, which is absolutely fucking insane. But I'm pretty much looking forward to the game. Before we get into your best bet for this game, first and foremost, Inter Miami is probably your most betted team. They're probably the most beloved team inside our household, with the kids loving Messi. But NYCFC is still our fucking team.
Yes, we will be at the game, and I want to say I'm rooting for NYCFC, 100%. We will be there, NYCFC. But you know what? My wallet. She's a bitch.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. She went, all right, let's get straight into it then. Because I feel like there's a lot to discuss here because you're talking about money. You're talking about the fact that the loyal listeners can make money on this Major League Soccer game. And even though it's going to hurt my soul just this little bit, let's discuss what you're thinking, because today we looked at the lines and we couldn't quite believe what we saw, especially if you look at the most recent results for NYCFC. They've not won in the last 4 games in Major League Soccer, and it's been a while since they've won. They've conceded a lot of goals, and Miami are actually scoring a ton of goals. I mean, NYCFC lost 5-1 at home at Yankee Stadium against Philadelphia Union only days ago, actually. Yesterday, as we record this one. And into Miami, they're on a great run right now, scoring goals. I think they've scored 11 goals, something like that, in the last 4 games. There's NYCFC for you. 5 against Philadelphia, 1 against DC, 4 against Columbus, 2 against Chicago, not winning games. So that's a concern. And as on the other hand, into Miami managed to rest Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez, and Jordi Alba for the 2-2 result against Atlanta United. But they scored 3 against Philly, who, of course, NYCFC just got pumped by. And then they scored 4 against Chicago, 2 against Cincinnati, who are some of the best teams in Major League Soccer. So I'm very concerned. And today we woke up, we looked at the lines, they just were released, and we found a few surprises. Hot Coco, take it away.
Well, I need to be careful what I say because I don't want to be in the doghouse. So I'm speaking from my wallet's perspective. And she thinks it would be a great laddering opportunity. When we saw plus numbers for Miami, we were floored. We were so shocked because if you just look at the last game they played yesterday, both of them, NYC and Miami, like you just mentioned, plus numbers for Miami, I have a good ladder for you guys. So I have Miami money line we found was plus 145 just to win.
That's crazy, though. First and foremost, go to that, right?
Yes.
I got to get the microphone back, right? Because, I mean, listen, you can't hear as if I'm screaming from a distance, so I'm going to grab it from you. But plus 145 for into Miami. They just rested Messi. They just rested Suarez. Both of them are chasing Golden Boot and Jordi Alba. I mean, for you, it's pretty much dreamland.
100%. I mean, Messi's back fit, healthy again. It will be his first time playing in Yankee Stadium, an iconic stadium for him to play in. Yeah. So I think he's going to want to show up and hopefully score some goals. I mean, not hopefully. That's my wallet talking.
First and foremost, it hurts my soul to hear you say that, especially when we're walking into that stadium in our NYCFC jerseys. But I do see an opportunity right there. Okay, let's get to what you're actually thinking where people can make some money. So the money line is plus 145. What else did you notice?
Okay, so I have 4 bets here. So I thought this would be great laddering opportunity. You do the money line at plus 145. If you do money line plus 1.5 total over 1.5 total goals is plus 190, which is wild. And then money line with over 2.5 total goals plus 246. And then if you fancy doing a little sprinkle, a little zest, money line over 3.5 goals plus 505. 505.
Yeah, it is wild. I mean, thinking about it, there should be goals in this game because NYCFC need to start picking up victories. They need to start scoring goals. And against Inter Miami, you got to score goals to beat that team. But the problem is that if you score 2, they'll score 3. If you score 3, they'll score 4. If you score 4, they'll score more. That's the mentality going into this game. I can't quite believe that we're seeing these types of numbers. Suarez obviously rested. I think he's on 18 goals now, something crazy like that. Messi would have been on 30 goals plus now, I would imagine, if he wasn't injured. So this does hurt my soul just that little bit. But as you mentioned already, an opportunity for the loyal listeners to really make some money.
What was the stats you told me for the last 4 games of goals for NYCFC and Inter Miami? That's also another juicy thing.
Yeah, well, we broke it down there, as you can see from the results already. NYCFC conceded 5 goals against Philadelphia. It's been ridiculous to see that one. They conceded 10 goals over the last 3 games, 12 goals in the last 4 games, which is crazy. And then for Inter Miami, obviously getting the 2 goals against Atlanta. I keep saying Atlanta United. A couple of goals there they did score. They scored 3 against Philadelphia. There's 5. They scored 4 against Chicago. There's 9. And they scored 2, of course, against Cincinnati. So you have 11 goals scored in the last 4, whereas obviously NYCFC are shipping goals left, right, and center. So we're expecting goals. The kids will expect goals. We'll also have a problem with our kids because they seem to be Lionel Messi fans and want to wear their Messi jerseys.
Well, also with a NYCFC hat. But yes, yeah, this is going to be interesting.
I think it's an interesting dynamic, similar to our opening of the show right now. Hey, listen, I'm going to let you go because I know you're busy. You've got a lot to be happy about, proud about for the work that you've done at Stoppage Time. I can only imagine the Stoppage Time loyal listeners out there are happy to see you as well. If you were to have a message for the loyal listeners out there for some of the response you've got, you're obviously available now on a separate Instagram. You like to keep your private one private, but at the other one, you've put it out there for your bets. I mean, where can people find you? And obviously, what would your message be to the loyal listeners who've been pretty respectful up to this point?
Yes, everyone's been super respectful, which I appreciate. And so does my husband. And you can follow me at Hot Coco Bets on TikTok, Instagram, and any message. Just keep showing the love.
Keep showing the love, but also make sure you follow on Stoppage Time across all platforms because Hot Coco's taken over pretty much every platform. Producer Jeff's doing great work on YouTube, so make sure you're subscribed to YouTube and check out the YouTube shorts. They're doing very well. The numbers are growing drastically. We've just had our best viewed show, which is outstanding for the Champions League coverage. So make sure everybody goes and follows Hot Coco and follows the Stoppage Time platforms as well across all of the media platforms. Listen, we're going to take a quick break. Hot Coco has to go. She's taking the dog for a walk. She's going to be very busy. Do you want to just explain your personal life a little bit more before you get out here? No? Okay, then. We'll go to break. Listen, quick timeout because producer Jeff, he says we don't have any commercials yet. There's no sponsor out there waiting. So we're going to give a quick 5 minutes to producer Jeff before I come back with Buckets' best bets.
Hi, I'm Zoe, producer Jeff's daughter. Producer Jeff, or as I like to call him, Mr. Producer, is an okay dad, like 2 stars. But he's a really good producer, like 2.5 stars. 2.5 stars. And I want you to know that Producer Dad is available to take your YouTube channel and turn it into an exact clone of FC Stoppage Time. Whether your channel is about French history, urban Japanese autos, or my favorite, potatoes. Mr. Producer Dad can make it look just like a stoppage time. Also, I can sell you some Thin Mix.
All right, welcome back to Stoppage Time, loyal listeners. IPJ, no John Bucket Timer today, but we did get some best bets for him this weekend that's coming up. There are some cracking games to look forward to. I hope everybody enjoyed Hot Coco's pick right there. If you want to see more from Hot Coco, you want to see more of us together, if you want us to replace John Bucket Timer forever, let us know in the comments if you would like that to happen. But please make sure you're subscribed to the show, share the show as much as you possibly can, and go follow Hot Coco across social medias and Stoppage Time across all social media platforms. Let's get into the weekend's fixtures for John Bucket Timer, who is not here and is enjoying a wonderful vacation. I'm going to read out some of the fixtures. I'm going to actually get John Bucket Timer's best bet, and then I'm going to react to his best bet while he is no longer here. We're going to critique his best bets as well. Coming up on Friday, we got some big games to look forward to. Deportivo Alaves against Sevilla in La Liga. We've got Augsburg versus Mainz in the Bundesliga. We've got Cagliari versus Empoli and Hellas Verona versus Torino in Italy. Nice against Saint Etienne in Ligue 1, which is absolutely not a bad game to be looking forward to on Friday as well. But I'm just wondering where my boy Buckets is going. Take it away.
I got you, Ian. My best bet for Friday is going to be a tricky match here in the Netherlands Eredivisie. I'm looking at a matchup between PEC Zwolle taking on AZ Alkmaar. And I'm betting on a player prop here, and a player that probably nobody's really heard of, possibly until last weekend. I'm betting Troy Parrott, anytime goal scorer, at plus 110 for AZ Alkmaar. Last week, when they beat Heerenveen 9-1, he scored 4 of those 9 goals. He has been on an absolute tear this season, and he's found his form. He's looking hot, and there's no reason not to bet him against a PEC side that Alkmaar should probably, again, score 3 or 4 goals against.
Oh, John Bucket Timer's gone for Troy Parrott. First and foremost, a lot of people out there have heard of Troy Parrott because I believe he's the type of guy who's just moved from the Premier League all the way over to the Eredivisie. He was on loan there last season. I think he was at Excelsior and scored 10 goals, but now being moved over to AZ Alkmaar, it's been impressive to see him performing the way he has done as well. So as Buckets pointed out there, AZ earned a 9-1 victory over Heerenveen at home in their last league match, which extended their unbeaten run to the season to 5 games, 4 draws, one draw, 4 wins, which puts them second place on 13 points through 5 matches. They're only 2 points behind first place PSV. But even though they won the game by 9-1, they've only scored 14 goals on the campaign, which is absolutely crazy. League leaders PSV have scored 20 goals through the 5 games they've played so far. But yeah, I do love to see this one from Troy Parrott. Anytime goal scorer, anytime someone comes off the back of scoring multiple goals in a game, you're always expecting them to have that confidence to go forward. And listen, I had to share this with producer Jeff because I know he would have loved this video. I kind of wish Buckets was here to see this video as well. Troy Parrott, after the game with the AZ Alkmaar fans, was something fucking special and unique. Take a look at this. fantastic there from the AZ fans, and well done to AZ social media for putting that video out there. We fucking love you guys. Videos like that make me fucking thrive with energy. Congratulations to Troy Parrott as well. Scoring that many goals in one game for a 22-year-old is pretty impressive. He is, of course, someone who's just moved from Spurs. I mentioned already before, 10 goals last season on loan in the Eredivisie. Buckets, I like the bet when someone's confident and it's in plus numbers. Why not go for it once again? Let's go to Saturday's full schedule of games coming up on Saturday. We have a Midlands derby with Aston Villa against Wolves. And then we've got Real Madrid against Espanyol in La Liga. And then in Germany, Bayern Munich are away to Werder Bremen. And then we got a big one in Italy, Juventus against Napoli. It's a beauty with Antonio Conte going back to Juventus Stadium. PSG are in action in Ligue 1 against Rams. Where is our boy Buckets going?
My best bet for Saturday is going to be the clash between Werder Bremen and my boys, the Kings of Bavaria, Bayern Munich. I'm taking the same bet every single time with Bayern Munich until it stops hitting over 1.5 goals in the first half, currently priced at -115. This is the same Bayern Munich that just scored 9 goals in Champions League against Dinamo Zagreb. They're going to rotate their squad. They might rest players like Harry Kane, but with how Vincent Kompany has the squad playing, I just don't think it matters. Take over 1.5 goals at -115. And if you want a riskier option, take Bayern specifically over 1.5 in the first half at +175.
The boy Buckets is back with the over 1.5 team total in the first half. Why not? And I love it right now. Under Vincent Kompany, they're playing some great football. Bayern Munich, top of the table. 11 goals scored, 3 goals conceded after 3 games. They've won all 3. They're the only team in Germany. In front of producer Jeff's Borussia Dortmund, who have 7 points. They are also undefeated, as are Leipzig in the table right now. But the difference being that Bayern have scored 11 goals, Dortmund have scored 6, and Leipzig have scored only 4. Heidenheim not too far away with the 8 goals scored, and Leverkusen got some work to do with that 1 defeat on the season so far. Bayern just coming off the back of that victory in the Champions League, 9 goals to 2, which was ridiculous. Dinamo Zagreb, I think, just fired their coach as well. But Bayern Munich under Vincent Kompany has been very, very impressive. Kane got himself 4 goals in that game, a hat-trick of penalty kicks, which is incredible. Guerrero scored, Olise scored a couple, Leroy Sané scored, and Leon Goretzka scored in the 90th +2 to just wrap up an incredible performance in the Champions League. And goals matter in the Champions League, like we discussed in our previous episode. Bayern are chasing that +800 to win the group stage. Everybody out there, I hope you took that future that myself and John Bucketsheimer were pretty heavy on. Let's look at the head-to-head between Werder Bremen and Bayern Munich. Obviously, Bayern have got a very good record. However, the last time they did meet in January, Bayern lost that game at home against Werder Bremen. But this, however, is a completely different Bayern Munich side. Now, Vincent Kompany's been getting a lot of stick. He's still been getting picked on because now, of course, he's got the big job in the Bundesliga. That's Bayern Munich. It's called FC Hollywood for a reason. But Vincent Kompany is someone who's taken a lot of shit on social media. He's someone who's taken a lot of shit for how he deserves this opportunity. But he actually had the perfect response about dealing with the pressure and dealing with what it takes to actually win and have success, thinking, does he have an opportunity to actually lift trophies in the Bundesliga and potentially lift a Champions League? He answered his critics perfectly well in his latest press conference. Take a listen to this. It's awesome.
I'm born in Brussels, yeah? Northern quarter in Brussels. My dad was a refugee, came from Congo to Belgium. What were my chances of ever setting a foot, even in the Premier League, playing in the Premier League, winning something as a player, playing for the national team, and so on? If you take the odds and the chances that it was for me to happen, 0.00 what %, you know? And now I'm a coach. The question is, do you just stop believing? Do you stop believing in yourself because of what other people say? Do you stop believing in what you can achieve because, you know what, there's a very small chance? The mentality is to continue to go. And in the end, if you fail, you fail. If you succeed, you succeed, but you become better every single time. That's so important. And the question is irrelevant in terms of the direction of the fact that, because online you can always find stuff, so I really don't take it any personal, never. But the point is, it's an interesting topic in terms of what is it that people are supposed to do? Give up? Stop because of what others think? And in the world we live in, I think no, just let's encourage people to succeed, to break barriers, to do something.
Let's encourage people to succeed, to break barriers. That's what we do here at Stoppage Time as well. We encourage you to be yourself, to be humans, to actually go for it and actually succeed and win at life. We obviously want you to bet responsibly, but we want you to not be critiqued. We want you to be treated like a human being. And that answer right there from Vincent Kompany was so fucking powerful. I wanted to share it with all of you because he is someone who's obviously gone through a lot. His father, a refugee from Congo. And what chances did he have of actually playing a professional game? And then having success, winning a couple of domestic titles in Belgium, then going to England after Hamburg in Germany and winning 4 Premier League titles. I mean, what he's done in his career as a player is absolutely remarkable. And of course, now going on as a manager, I give him credit because he is a voice and he's not someone who's shying away from sharing his voice and inspiring others to really go for it and chase their dreams as well. We need more black managers in the game. Simply said. There's not enough black managers in the game. I've played with so many black players in my career who deserve a better opportunity than they have been given as coaches, as human beings working in the media. It doesn't matter. We need to see more black players involved in our game, especially on the sidelines. Black coaches, we need more of it. Vincent Kompany is a voice for a reason, and Vincent Kompany is someone who's leading as a trailblazer. He is someone who's going all the way to the Champions League right now, grabbing it by the scruff of the neck, finally has a squad that he can compete with, and he's been a massive, massive voice for everybody out there who's lost some hope in their life. I love to hear stories like that, and I hope that we see Vincent Kompany have a lot of success. So needless to say, that was pretty awesome and powerful. I love Buckets. It's over 1.5 team total. It is the golden bet right now. Bayern are away from home against Werder Bremen, so let's not forget that one. It's never easy, but Bayern in the form that they're in right now, they can rotate the team and still score fucking goals. Let's go to his best bet on Sunday. We begin with some of the games that are coming up. And of course, there is Manchester City against Arsenal, which is a huge game to look forward to in the Premier League. Lyon against Marseille in France is a banger. We've got Rayo Vallecano against Atletico Madrid. And in Germany, we've got Stuttgart against Borussia Dortmund, producer Jeff. And then we've also got St. Pauli at home to Leipzig in Germany. And the Milan derby, AC Milan against Inter. So I am intrigued as to where the fuck our boy Buckets is going.
My best bet for Sunday, IPJ, is going to be a France League clash between Olympique Lyon and Olympique Marseille. We got a little bit of a derby matchup here, and I'm taking the exact same thing I bet every single week when Marseille is playing this season. Marseille over 1.5 team total, currently priced at -115. This Marseille team is looking so good with all their new pickups here over the summer. They've played 4 matches. They've scored 12 goals in those 4 matches. Meanwhile, Olympique Lyon is kind of fallen apart. They recovered a little bit, but they're still 13th on the table and are averaging conceding 2 goals a game right now. Marseille playing how they're playing might score 3 or 4. So the fact that we got the 1.5 team total at a playable number of -115, I'll take that every single time.
Yeah, I love the fact that my boy Buckets is actually leaning towards the goals here across all of his bets right now. Marseille, if you look at the table position compared to what Lyon are in, Marseille second in the table, Lyon 13th. Obviously, Marseille have won 3, Lyon just a 1. Both have drawn 1 game. Lyon have lost 2 games. And of course, for Marseille, they have not yet lost in the season so far. As you can see right there, average goals per game is 3 goals scored for Marseille, which is impressive compared to the 1 for Lyon, and conceded 2 goals for Lyon compared to the 1 for Marseille. Obviously, there's players who are stepping up right now that really have caught my attention. Mason Greenwood has been outstanding. You can see right there, 5 goals so far this season after his big transfer over. He was pretty impressive in Spain as well. Had a controversial pass, Mason Greenwood, obviously with what happened at Manchester United, but there's absolutely no doubting his talent on the football field. Maupe, Arit, and Enrique have been really creative offensively, and as you can see, the defenders are actually pretty solid defenders as well. But I think Marseille are dangerous and always good for over 1.5 team total through 90 minutes in a game. It's a big game. It's a historic rivalry as well. Those two teams necessarily don't like each other, but I think Marseille and Buckets are onto an absolute winner there. So far, he's checking boxes, Buckets. He should take more fucking vacations. All right, on Monday, we've got games in Italy and Spain. Real Betis against Mallorca. We've got Atalanta against Como, which is the new boys, a newly promoted team that Cesc Fabregas is in charge of. Of course, John Bucketsheimer's has absolutely no idea who Cesc Fabregas is, so I'm intrigued to see if he's actually going to that game.
For my best bet for Monday, we're going to Italy's Serie A in a fantastic matchup between Atalanta taking on newly promoted side Como. And one of my favorite ways to bet is find these teams like Atalanta who have a congested schedule where they've got Champions League matches like they currently do against Arsenal before this match, and bet them to be a little bit weaker in the previous match. Atalanta is going to be exhausted after this Champions League fixture against Arsenal, which means Como has a chance maybe not to win, but at the very least to score here. I'm going both teams to score at minus 120 because right now Atalanta's offense is absolutely incredible, but defensively they're lacking. In their 4 matches they've played this season in Serie A play, they've scored 8 and they've conceded 8. They're going to be on tired legs, which means Como will help us here with the both teams to score at minus 120.
Yeah, I like it. Listen, Patrick Cutrone is the only real hope, I think, for Como right now. They do have a good squad of players, but newly promoted teams are always teams that try to find their way, and Como are promoted earlier than they expected. I listened to a podcast recently with Gary Lineker where Cesc Fabregas broke down getting promoted early, trying to catch up and compete in Serie A in the top flight. It was really interesting and fascinating. There's not much pressure for them to stay in the division, but financially it would be beneficial. So they'll find a way, and Cutrone gives them a chance of doing so. Obviously, Atalanta dealing with European competition and then also dealing with domestic competition, never easy, but I think they're really impressive. If you look at their starting 11 most recently, having Ademola Lookman back is impressive. He's got 1 goal, 1 assist to his name, but Retegui, the new addition to their squad, phenomenal. What a player. What an outstanding player he has been. Brilliant addition because he's a fucking true goal scorer. He's a killer in and around that penalty area. We know what CDK, Charles de Ketelaere, is doing for that squad as well. He is someone who's finally found joy again after coming away from Milan and the pressure. He's gone to Atalanta and he's thriving, especially with what both those players did in the final of the Europa League, ending that run that we had with Leverkusen was pretty special indeed. But to answer Buckets' bet here, both teams to score at minus 120, I think is a really good shout here. It's just about Como. Can they get a goal? Atalanta, I think, in their new stadium, I don't know if you've seen it yet, the new stadium's phenomenal. It's the same old stadium, but they've refurbished it. So they were playing while the stadium was kind of getting developed, and now it finished in their last game. And they were awesome last weekend, and now I expect them to be awesome again this weekend. I'm just wondering whether or not Como can actually do some damage. So I think that Como get a goal in this game. I think Atalanta get a goal in this game, and I think we could see multiple goals in this game as well. All right. Everybody out there, loyal listeners, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Stoppage Time. No John Bucketimer here, but I'm so glad that he managed to throw those videos in to get the best bets out there to our loyal listeners. We obviously had Hot Coco jump in, which was something new, something different, and I really enjoyed it. I hope she did as much as I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Let us know in the comments what you think about the show, how we're going, the direction. We can't thank you enough for what you're doing across all of our platforms. Producer Jeff is working his fucking magic when it comes to YouTube. He's all over the videos. As you can see, the production quality is outstanding. As you can see with what he's doing on the shorts, phenomenal. We went live on Twitter. We have over 5,000 and probably over 7,500 by the time we get to the end of Thursday's Champions League games, which is the day we're recording right now. On X alone, on Twitter alone. That's phenomenal to me. So we are seeing, on average, this week being our most viewed episode because on Twitter, we've got over 7,000. On YouTube, we've got, I think, 10,000 over the last 10 days or something like that, 7 days. It's ridiculous across our platforms what we're doing. And we can't thank you enough, the loyal listeners out there. But we need you to do us a favor. We need you to make sure you're subscribed to YouTube. We need to make sure you're commenting on YouTube because it helps us grow the show as much as we possibly can. Go follow on social media if you have Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. We appreciate the support there. And then, of course, make sure you're sharing the show with your friends as much as you possibly can. I want to get to 3,000 subscribers as soon as we possibly can. Once we get there, I'm going to try and create somewhat of a giveaway for all the loyal listeners out there to enjoy as well. But that's it for today's episode. I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. I hope John Bucketsheimer is well and truly rested. And I know there's some big news coming up about John Bucketsheimer's dating life for everybody out there to enjoy as well. When the time is right, I'm sure he'll share it with us. But I wonder if that's why he's taken a vacation. Maybe he needed a rest after being a lovebird for the first week or two of his newfound relationship. We'll soon find out. Everybody have a great weekend. Bet responsibly, but make sure you absolutely have it!
stoppage time.